A possible cheating scandal at a Clearwater High School program.
Yeah, I-Team investigator Adam Walser has been telling you about GradPoint for nearly a year now. It's designed to allow students to get credit for classes they previously failed.
Teachers told us and documents showed students finish semester-long classes in just hours, almost always getting an 80.
What's the problem with 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, the same score over and over again?
I would say that there's no way that that could actually happen.
The student got this B after failing 13 of 16 tests. We talked to the teacher who gave the grade.
Is there any problem with GradPoint here at all?
No, sir.
Well, even after we took those concerns to the district, they did not launch a full audit of the GradPoint program. Then Adam uncovered an email in our open records request and discovered just how long ago the school system should have realized it really had a problem.
I don't want to be the one that's just pushing someone through just to get the numbers up.
Social studies teacher Kelly Fichtner says she discovered teachers inflated GradPoint grades in early 2015 when the school assigned her to verify American government grades for 250 freshmen at Clearwater High.
I was getting ready to sign a GradPoint thing of another teacher's student, and they're like, wait a second, how does that student have an 80%? I submitted their grade just yesterday with a 73.
Fichtner took a closer look.
And I saw one of my personal students' grades that I had submitted as a C was also bumped up to a B. I knew that this was happening at a bigger record than just a quick mistake that happened.
Fichtner reported the problem and resigned from GradPoint with this email, which said, I don't want to jeopardize my career by signing off on legal documents that I have no knowledge of. She was the second Clearwater teacher to resign from the program. Shortly after, the school's assistant principal sent an email to all GradPoint teachers saying he would submit a list of names and grades for them to review and report inaccuracies.
We were never able to verify those grades because they never sent to us what was submitted through GradPoint.
The district was unable to prove the review ever happened, but something interesting did pop up in one of our records requests. This February 2015 email from Pete Lavinia to a colleague said Clearwater has been cheating for years. Michelle Topping oversees GradPoint and is Lavinia's supervisor.
And he monitors GradPoint and ensures that schools are in compliance.
What kind of employee is he?
I don't think that's something that's appropriate for Michelle to speculate on.
That's Lisa Wolf in the green shirt. Across from her is Melanie Parra. They are spokespeople for the district.
Well, she's his boss, right?
Yeah, but you think you're asking about him because he's part of that
OPS investigation.
They say they can't comment about the open investigation, but confirm Lavinia has never been disciplined in his more than 30 years with Pinellas County Schools. In other emails, Lavinia said he notified the district about the cheating, saying, we'll see if they sweep it. He also said Clearwater Principal Keith Masterides told me basically to mind my own business after determining they're fabricating all the grades. Lavinia wrote, most didn't even take the test and they gave them 80%.
Students completed the entire year's worth of work within days, sometimes as little as 2 days.
Multiple teachers made similar allegations confirmed by dozens of student records, which we reported months ago, but the district says they found nothing wrong.
I was put through being beaten. I was put through horrible humiliation.
I would go to my room and cry, and it wasn't a fun time in our lives.
8 former Hope Children's Home residents who lived there at different times from 2006 to last year are speaking out.
I've been telling anybody who would listen to me, this is what happened.
And so we just practice those good old standards that have been practiced for years.
Mike Higgins took over as executive director in 2005. Since Higgins became executive director, reports show that sheriff's deputies have been to Hope 116 times, including 14 child abuse investigations. In many of those reports, there's a reference to a practice called swatting.
Probably many times children are given spankings the wrong way, but we practice doing it the right way at Hope.
With paddles?
Yes, sir.
You didn't eat your food all the way, you get a swat. Didn't read your Bible, you got a swat.
It was like a piece of wood that was like that big, like a handle on them.
They would pull it all the way back and smack you.
And they would have you face the wall, and then they would sit there and just wail on you.
To where you're holding a paddle like a baseball bat is a little too far.
And that happened?
Yeah. Every single one of us.
It hurt an abnormal amount to me. And so afterwards, I went to the bathroom and I checked, and like immediately there were already these huge bruises and welts
I refute every one of those. We do not spank child and leave bruises on them. We don't beat them with a baseball bat approach. It's done very systematically.
Hope is regulated by the Florida Association of Christian Child Care Agencies, or FACA, which banned corporal punishment in 2014. Mike Higgins serves on FACA's board. He says even though he can no longer paddle kids in the home, he can while they are at school. Hope School is operated under the same nonprofit license as the home and is only open to Hope residents. FACA also banned isolation for longer than 60 minutes in 2012.
That's a different form of isolation where a child will be put in an isolation room without any type of accommodations whatsoever.
Police reports show Hope uses a form of isolation called TLC regularly.
It was called Total Life Change.
One of the rooms that they would put kids in was a linen closet.
You weren't allowed to talk to anybody.
That would be your bedroom for however long they wanted it to be your bedroom, and you were cut off from anyone else.
I mean, I was in that room with just a Bible and a few changes of clothes, and that was it.
I've known kids that's been on it for 6 months.
You don't see nobody until you get right with God.
These pictures of the TLC room are part of a 2012 abuse investigation. The report quotes multiple children who said they spent extended periods of time in TLC.
42 days, 60 days, 180 days. Sure. Is that appropriate?
Well, you're making it, it sounds like it's a jail cell. These children are still integrated within the program of the children's home.
Except they couldn't talk to each other.
We're trying to separate them to get their attention so that we can focus on them one-on-one and help them through the struggle that they're having.
And if it takes 6 months, it takes 6 months.
It could take a while, yes.
The abuse cases investigated by law enforcement were closed as unfounded. FACA's executive director told me in an email that it doesn't comment on its actions to enforce compliance, and DCF and law enforcement determined whether a complaint is verified, not FACA. This week, Higgins told us they changed their TLC program to have a 30-day limit.
And we have totally been exonerated, and they put their stamp of approval on the program.
The power is with the adults. You are confined in this facility. You are living in this facility.
Psychologist Bob Friedman is an expert in group home abuse. He says programs that frequently punish kids can cause psychological damage.
See kids who end up feeling worthless as a result, and they may cut on themselves, they may become suicidal.
I cut myself in any way I could find. I'd get glass, blades. I needed to hurt myself.
Caroline Farmer and her sister Catherine went to live at Hope after their parents lost their jobs. Higgins says both were overweight when they arrived.
They put us on diets, very, very strange diet.
Both of those girls lost a lot of weight and looked phenomenal when they left here.
Elaine Healy was also put on a diet.
Like, you kind of felt like humiliated because you knew you weren't allowed to have seconds, or you knew you weren't allowed to touch dessert. And if you did, they would yell at you.
She lost over 70 pounds, and she felt phenomenal about herself.
Caroline Farmer says she was caught sneaking food and was humiliated and punished.
I know how I look, but it's a little girl. And how can you look at a 9-year-old girl and say you're ugly? You need to lose weight.
It's desperate, and it's been desperate for some time.
Pat Hall with the League of Women Voters is talking about the budget crunch in Hillsborough County schools.
When we don't have air conditioning in classrooms, but she's been able to do whatever.
She's also talking about school board member Susan Valdez.
Susan has taken advantage of her position to travel, and it's gone on for the entire 12 years she's been on the board.
Since 2012, Valdez has flown tens of thousands of miles and spent months in upscale hotels on your dime. All these markers from Boston to Miami on the East Coast and from Seattle to San Diego in the West represent trips that Valdez took at an average cost of more than $1,000 each.
We need and have to make changes on how we spend our money.
Superintendent Jeff Akins announced cost-cutting measures this month, including an employee travel ban.
I'm Adam Walser. How are you? I'm with ABC Action News.
Valdez refused multiple requests for a sit-down interview, but we caught up with her at a community event.
From July 12 to April 16, $44,637. Seems like a lot of money.
Well, the thing is that I am an active board member, and by statute is also there, or not a requirement, but something that I can do.
Valdez can travel all she wants on the district, since she's not considered an employee. There's no policy restricting board members' travel. Last year, Valdez's out-of-town travel costs were more than the other 6 members combined. She says her trips are necessary since she sits on multiple boards and committees.
You have to be on all these boards.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Because?
Because it's the right thing to do on behalf of our students.
Among expenses Valdez charged to the district, 9 days of hotel, taxi, and airport parking expenses for a 3-day Washington, D.C. conference, and a 5-day trip to rapper Pitbull's Slam Academy charter school in Miami.
Which typically would be a 1 or 2 hour visit. Doesn't make sense to me.
Valdez says she made more than one stop on that trip and others.
While I was there, I do go visit schools. That's how I'm able to bring things back.
Valdez billed the district for local travel, too, including mileage to a Bucks game and mileage and parking for a concert at Amalie Arena.
Should taxpayers pay for you to park to go see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra?
Yes. I mean, it's something that I am invited to attend as an elected official, and those are part of the cost.
Records show Valdez canceled plans to attend a racial equity conference at a posh Santa Fe spa.
And it was a little bit too expensive.
And she says she has cut back on other trips.
There's one organization that we belong to, which is the Council of Great City Schools. I barely go to that one because I just don't see the value of that particular organization.
But records show Valdez did go to 2 Great City Schools conferences in California and New Mexico since 2013, costing the district $3,800.
So you're not slowing down?
I won't slow down on travel that is not productive to what we're doing here.
People want to purchase it. Our guests want to purchase it.
Salon brand shampoos can cost more per ounce than top shelf liquors. Supposed to be sold only in salons, but are increasingly found in discount stores, supermarkets, pharmacies, and online.
Unfortunately, it's not an authorized sale.
Typically, high-end manufacturers don't sell their salon products directly to stores, so stores buy from third-party companies that find the products in other ways.
Have you been approached to sell to these guys?
I actually have been.
iStyle salon owner Brandon Laxton says some third parties pay kickbacks to licensed stylists who buy for them. It's not illegal, but it violates salons' contracts with suppliers, so it is still done in secret.
These are the shipping labels. This is who these things originally went to.
This dumpster is rented by Elite Beauty International. Based on invoices and documents in the dumpster, it appears that from a small Tampa warehouse, Elite sells millions of dollars of Paul Mitchell, Redken, and other salon brands to grocery stores each year. They didn't want to talk to us, but their invoices tell some of the story.
They're charging them $14.24 each, and the retail price on these is $18.99.
The same products sold in salons usually cost more in stores.
Because it's changed hands so many times, the price goes up and up and up.
And evidence from the dumpster shows Elite had thousands of dollars in returns of damaged or expired products.
This bottle is from 2008, and they're paying extra on top of what we would normally sell it for an old product.
It might sit in a warehouse where it gets to 150 degrees, and it might be sitting there for longer than 5 years.
But is that really a big deal? Yes, according to University of South Florida chemistry professor Dr. Jim Leahy. He says products can break down over time and in heat.
That one has no lot number.
The shampoo bottle on the left is from a salon. The one on the right is from a grocery store. The batch number has been removed from the grocery store bottle, and the shampoo inside crystallized.
You see white solid clumps as opposed to, in this case, you see definitely a much creamier consistency. If it's solidified like that, now you're going to have those chunks of whatever that is in your hair.
Experts say old shampoo can acidify, making your hair more likely to tangle and tear. And as liquids evaporate over time,
and they might leave behind some sort of residue that could irritate some people.
Paul Mitchell tested bottles of their shampoo that were sold at places other than salons. Some tested positive for bacteria that could cause infections. Counterfeit goods can also make their way into the gray market. We found salon shampoos for a cheap price on this Chinese website.
There's no quality control.
U.S. Customs seized 2,200 shipments of counterfeit personal care products last year. We purchased 2 Paul Mitchell shampoo conditioner sets from different vendors on eBay, but after paying for them, eBay deactivated the seller's accounts, and the shampoo never arrived. And remember Elite? A document shows Amazon suspended their account for selling suspected counterfeit argan oil. We don't know where this salon shampoo advertised on Craigslist came from, but we called the seller, arranged a meeting at a gas station, and bought $100 worth of shampoo for $40.